What's up, y'all? I like this beat. This beat is makes me think about eating that resurrection dinner this weekend. All them carbs, all them sweets that I ain't had since February 14th. Yeah, belly gonna be like, yeah, butter, buns, mac and cheese, you name it, we doing it. What's up, y'all? I'm just here kicking back, talking to y'all per usual. What did I do today? Like, my days have been so busy and running together that it just is all running together. But I didn't do too much of anything, getting this house ready to get sold. We're getting, like I said, to the fourth quarter. Just been trying to be patient, get this part tied up, and then to move on to the next part, which is getting in a house. But yeah, we're almost there, y'all. It's just selling a house. We were so lucky last time because the last people had paid cash for our house, and it was just that was it. It wasn't no paperwork, it wasn't no nothing. It was just like, here's your check, be out. And it was perfect. But now you got all these negotiations and this and that, and it's just a pain. I mean, it seems like a great idea, but it is just so many like nuance. I mean, it's just, I signed up for it, right? I wanted to be out of this where I'm at, and it's for good. But it is just doing this and just my regular life of like working and my family and everything else is just like, some days I'm like, oh, but I keep going because you know what? These are still privileged problems. It could still be worse. That's what I always say to myself. So, you know, what's success without sacrifice? That's my new thing I'm saying all the time. Even though I hate that, but and then you reap your benefits, and then you have your days where I'm gonna have my days where I'm playing Call of Duty again, kicking back, doing nothing. Right now, it's just grind time, fun. I hate that word grind. It's so stupid, but I'm just saying that because I just hate it. I hate grinding, but it's the overachiever in me that does that. I don't always like being an overachiever, but when it comes to how I live my life, I do try on that part of it all. I wish you guys well out there. I hope that whatever y'all got going on, that it's going smooth, and whatever bumps you run into along the way, that they'll be answered and you'll figure it out. And there'll be minor bumps and the things you'll figure it out, and things that you won't get so discouraged that you want to quit. One thing I've learned in my old age now, I feel like I'm getting wiser now that I'm like getting closer to 50. I don't know. I just feel wise. I don't know why. But one thing I've learned, that like whatever kills you doesn't make you stronger. And I know that's just like a really dumb statement, but it's really true. Like, everything you go through, man, you get through it and you just be like, or you just be like, I've been through worse. I've been through worse. I actually been watching Evil Lives Here on ID channel, and that show is really rattling my cage. First of all, it's some sick people out here in this world, man. It's some sick sickos. At first, I was just watching it because there's nothing else to watch, and so I'm like, I'm gonna watch these little shows, and just once you start watching it, you see yourself in all these people. You see yourself in the young girl that got in a bad relationship because all she saw was like abuse growing up, so she thought that was normal. And then you realize, like, I'm so glad that I learned to love myself and learned to want more for myself when it came to love. And I was, not this like needy broken person and just wanted love, and so desperate for love that you look past all the red flags. And when I watch these shows, and that's what I really like watching these shows, because I become so I'm such an empath, and I can feel what these people are feeling, and we've all kind of been these people in life before. Where, I mean, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm sure somebody's suffered from some type of low self esteem where they felt like they had to settle, and they felt like, to get up and try again is tiring. Whether whatever it's you're doing, whether you're getting a new job, getting in a relationship, trying to lose weight, trying to save money, whatever it is that is causing you to have to go after goals, it could be tiring and you could want to settle. But to me, when you're settling, it's hurting yourself and those around you, especially your children or something. It's just not worth it. Everybody has to have these things in their life where they have to be like, I'm not gonna settle for this. There has to be some non-settling lines. It just has to. And I get on here, I read these stories all the time, and about like people just domestic violence, and people killing their kids, and I just read them, but they do. I mean, they are affecting. They should affect everybody, really. But when you've lived something like that, and when you've gotten close to, those situations in your life, it really does something to you. That's why I said I can't watch this tomorrow. I watched this so much today, and I saw myself in so many of those stories. I saw myself as the little kid that was scared that something was gonna happen to their mom, and just that feeling is so triggering, man. It's so triggering. And I laugh now, like, I'm like, I'm a G, but for real, like, I've been my whole life prepared for something to happen to me at a young age, and you don't really think about that until you watch these shows, and it's like, dang, that's why I be like, I'm hard out here. I could have been a killer at a young age, and I laugh about it now, but like watching these stories where these people can't laugh about it because something actually did happen to their mom, and they did feel like, I was watching this one boy's story, and man story, and he was saying that if he can go back to his younger self, he would have said, like, you got to kill your dad or your mom's gonna be dead in an hour. And it's just like, man, it was crazy. And I would never share nothing like, I don't try to share too much of myself on here like that, but I have had that feeling before. Luckily my mom didn't die, but I know what that's like, to feel like something's gonna happen to your mom and you're young and you can't do nothing. And that's how he felt, like he was young, he couldn't do nothing. And it was triggering on all sorts. And so, as much as I laugh on here and joke on here, and I try not to ever get too personal, just watching it was just crazy. It was crazy, but I thank God that I overcame it, and I thank God that I'm on the other side. But I do know that watching these people, they're I mean, clearly they had very terrible outcomes of what happened with them. And thank God that none of that happened in my family, as far as my mom is still living and she's thriving, and I'm so grateful for that. But it's definitely remnants of that in all of my siblings, and even in her. And so just being able to get up and laugh and make y'all laugh, hopefully, and just being silly, it is one of my coping mechanisms, and I'm glad that's my coping mechanism. I'm glad I'm not drinking or in another crazy relationship, and or just acting out. And don't get me wrong, I've acted out in my younger days, for sure, but in my old infinite wisdom now, I can really say to somebody that might be going through this, it gets greater later, and to set those boundaries for yourself. Like, don't think just because you saw that as a child that is love. It's not love. And I had to figure out what love is on my own. I never saw a healthy relationship growing up. And I wouldn't even say TV, because TV's fake. So you have to literally learn what it works for you, what's healthy for you, what feels good to you, and not nothing sick or twisted, but healthy things that make you happy and make others happy. And just doing little things to, sometimes when you're feeling sad or something, do something for somebody nice, do some give back, talk to other people, I talked to my daughter-in-law today. It was her birthday. Shout out to her. And it was really good to talk to her, and she was happy to hear from me. And that made me feel really good as well. And just making people's day, just making people smile, just making people happy. I try to do that if I'm not feeling my best. That's one way that I get out of funks. If I'm in a funk, I try to do something nice for somebody, make somebody laugh, listen to somebody, be there for somebody. That stuff is free. So anyway, that's kind of how my day went, and I didn't mean to ramble on about this for that long, but it's just that show triggered me so much. Like I said, I can't watch it tomorrow because that show had me all flustered. Now let's get into a real sicko. Let's watch Diddy's house being raided. Diddy, I can't stand him. Y'all already know that. I say that over and over again. But let's watch his house get raided. There was helicopters, boats, cars, SWAT, federal agents, Homeland Security. But let's watch. Yeah, Diddy, and so this is his house.
Surprising fans one metric at a time.
This commercial. Then the next video is after the raid, the aftermath. He went through all his little stuff and I'm assuming that's his office or something. How do you get in that safe? When Homeland Security comes to your house today, they get to go in your safe. Is that what they do? Diddy sleeping on white sheets. That's how you know you rich, when you sleeping on white sheets. Did they mess up the house like that, or was it looking like that before? That's what I don't know. There's his little barbershop. He got a barbershop in his closet. They just went through a lot of stuff. How do you wear all them shoes and clothes? Like one shelf in his closet is like my whole closet at home. I wonder what they gonna find in all this stuff. There's so much stuff. How does one even go into... I mean, you'd have to think he'd have to hit most of his evidence by now, right? Another safe. He has a lot of shoes. He really should give a lot of that stuff to the homeless. I do got a lot of safes. Dang, they kicked in some doors. Wow. Well, like I said,
are you looking to establish?
I don't feel sorry for Diddy because he did something. I don't know what it is, but he did. So Rebel Wilson is claiming that Sacha Baron Cohen asked her to stick her finger up his butt. I don't know why she's coming after him so hard, but So this Baltimore ship crashes into a bridge, collapses. 2 people found dead, 6 presumed dead. 2 people found, 6 presumed dead. That's crazy, man. That happened like early this morning. I guess it was one of them freight whatever. Let me click on it because now I can't even. I'm having a mind fart. It was a cargo ship. They called Mayday before the collision, which enables authorities to limit traffic on the bridge. Officials say 8 people were on the bridge at the time, and that thus far 2 of them have been accounted for. 1 is in a hospital, and the other is stable. Search for the other 6 continues. That's crazy, man. Luckily, they were able to call ahead of time before there was more casualties. Taylor Swift's dad won't be charged in alleged paparazzi attack. So, Diddy's alleged drug mule is a Syracuse hooper. Interesting that where Diddy finds these employees at. So his name is Brendan Paul, and he's a alleged mule who was arrested on Monday while the rap mogul and his crew were stopped by federal law enforcement agents previously and had a career as a college basketball player. He played for Syracuse in the 2020 season. He logged 17 minutes a game. He transferred to West Virginia, and he fared much better. I mean, he was a nice hooper. How did he get linked up to Diddy? He got locked up on Monday, booked on 2 drug charges, 1 count of possession of cocaine, the other for marijuana candy. Yeah, he's only 25. And that guy Rodney Johnson has him listed in the lawsuit. They even got Prince Harry listed in the lawsuit. Pretty much everybody that hung out with Diddy's gonna be in that lawsuit. Watch. Diddy about to be the next Epstein. Let's see what else we got here. It's all about Diddy and the cargo ship today. Yep. Unless you want to hear about Will Smith getting a speeding ticket. Let's see what else we got. NFL owners approve of a new kickoff rule. On Tuesday, a new kickoff rule was approved. The rule is considered to be safer and more entertaining than the previous one. The new rule will be enforced for a 1-year trial period. It must be reapproved next year. Under the new rule, 10 players from the kicking team and at least 9 from the receiving team will line up just 5 yards apart. Nobody except for the kicker and the returners can move until the receiving team catches the ball. The kicking team will now kick from the 35-yard line, which will prevent the slew of injuries that have occurred in the past when players ran full speed during kickoffs. If a kick lands in the end zone for a touchback, the opposing team will receive the ball at the 30-yard line. If the ball is kicked out of bounds or short of the 20, the opposing team will be awarded a 40-yard line. Dang, there's going to be some high-scoring games with that. Interesting. Halle Berry thought she had herpes, but it was really perimenopause with her new boyfriend. She said sex was painful. She thought the dude gave her herpes, but she was really going through menopause. Erykah Badu said the moon is the reason she's been feeling crazy. She's bloated and feeling low vibrational. Blame it on that moon. The moon done it again. Let's see what else we got. Feds seek seizure of $14 million in New York apartments tied to former Mongolia leader in alleged mining scheme. French singer and TikTok star Anis Robert Anais, I called her Anis, dies at 21 in a freak car accident. Rest in peace to her. An alligator relocated from the former Coca-Cola plant put on a weight loss diet. Alligator been eating good. I just want to know, can he run fast? Because if not, let him live his life. I like a lot of slow, fat alligators. A Texas man is running for president after changing his name to literally anybody else. That's funny. You know he gonna get some traction with that too. People are gonna be like, I'm voting for literally anybody else. Customer says Oreo has decreased the amount of icing in the double stuffed cookies. That's how you know you fat if you weigh in the amount of icing they got in the cookies. I mean, I get it, but dang. 'Cause I just put my Oreo in milk. I don't even like eating that icing in between. I feel like your teeth are just itching. A longtime Kansas City Chiefs cheerleader Crystal Anderson dies after giving birth. Very sad. McDonald's to start selling Krispy Kreme donuts. Yup. I do not like no Krispy Kreme donut. The winning numbers for a 1.13 billion Mega Millions jackpot have been drawn. Check your tickets, folks. It could be you. Fireman convicted of murdering his pregnant girlfriend days before baby boy due date, then tortured at home. You must be a terrible firefighter, dude, because how you get caught? Don't you know how to do that without getting caught? Rest in peace to that lady, though. So this is the dark side about my my jokes. Sad. Let's see what else we got. See if this video will play. Alright, it's just gonna be something. So this girl was on spring break and she was on booking.com. Customers calling out the site after she says they accidentally sold her a stay at a house that someone else had purchased. How did she find out? The new owners tried to move in during her stay. She's demanding her money back from a popular travel accommodation website, booking.com. Give us a refund right now. She writes in a viral clip that's occurred over 885,000 views. She records movers coming into the unit with furniture and their clients' belongings. She adds in text overlay, y'all think your Fort Lauderdale spring break is bad? We have 2 days left on our vacation and someone just pulled up with 3 booming trucks to move into our Airbnb. While G refers to the unit as Airbnb rental, the unit was booked through booking.com, which is a different platform. This is the first time booking.com customer has vented their frustrations from the site. It's this house for sale that's really nice too. While I was looking for houses, and I know it was an Airbnb, and that house is just sitting. And I'm wondering if it's just sitting because it was an Airbnb and people know it. Because I wouldn't even want to live in a house that was used for Airbnb. Everybody knows everything about it, and totally off topic of that, but just yeah. Lady Gaga's face looks swollen. Fans claim the star's part concerned that she's unrecognizable. Does Lady Gaga get too many filters? or injections. All right. It's an evil world we live in. Walmart worker tried to expose man in a relationship who came in with another woman to shop for this one suspicious thing. If your band is in Arlington, Texas, and your name is Leslie, your man came to Walmart with his side piece to get a plan B. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all know people be doing that now. They get on this at TikTok and they don't tell everything about it. All right, y'all. Other than the Diddy stuff and the bridge stuff, it's kind of a slow news day. Now, why would they make a Michael Myers? Y'all hear this? They just be trying to scare me. You know, after watching all that crazy Evil Lives Here stuff, I already said I don't want to hear no scary stuff on the music. Cause then my my mind start going a little crazy. So I ain't got time for that. But yeah, I think this is it for the news, y'all. I don't see anything else exciting. So let's get over to Dear Abby. See what she yip yapping about. Dear Abby, I just turned 40 and I can't find a woman to date who isn't divorced or has kids. Okay. I'm a single man who recently turned 40. I'm looking to find a wife who, like myself, has never been married and has no kids. I joined several dating sites, but most of the women are divorced or widowed or have kids. I just discovered a new website for single, never married people. I'm not sure if I should join it, but having a website designed for people like me is a great idea. I've read that 25% of all Americans have never been married. Should I join? Yeah, fool. That what you want. By all means, explore a new dating site. When do you expect to meet women who are considerably younger than you? Remember, however, that once you connect, you will have to take all precautions that people on other sites do. Yeah, I mean, just because they don't have kids and stuff don't mean they ain't crazy. Dear Abby, I grew up in a big lower class family in which there has always been drama, fights, gossip, etc. I made a vow to myself that when I had my own family, I would raise them better. I keep myself and my children distance from all that. Am I wrong for keeping them away from family? I don't like drama or problems. Sometimes I miss my family, but after a while, I get overwhelmed. Separate in Chicago. Dear Separate, as a parent, your responsibility is to protect your children. If you feel exposing them to something might be harmful, you are within your rights to keep them away. However, if you're raising your children in a healthy environment, exposing them to your family drama in limited doses isn't likely to be harmful. Afterwards, if your relatives behave badly, use it as a teaching moment. Use them as a bad example. Point out that in your family, you don't behave this way. I agree. I mean, it's the real world we live in, so they gonna see drama and fights, and they might see it at work. So you might be hiding it from the family, but they might see it some way. But yeah, just as long as you raise your kids different. I'm doing the same thing with my sons, but they also know, what's not healthy and what's healthy, and And when things do happen, I definitely use them as teachable moments for them. Dear Abby, I have a neighbor who lives across the street. She's in her late 70s. We've been friendly until recently when she came to visit me with her coffee. We talked about many different things that day. She had brought me a present and homemade cookies, which was nice. When I mentioned something that apparently she didn't like or believe, she stood up and did. I don't know why this is funny. She didn't come over to feel uncomfortable and left in a huff. I emailed her and sent a handwritten apology, but she hasn't spoken to me since. What should I do with her unopened gift and cookies? I don't feel comfortable accepting them. Dazed and confused. Dear Dazed and Confused, how sad that your neighbor wasn't able to tell you what it is that you said to make her feel uncomfortable. She felt she had to end the relationship. Perhaps you could have straightened it out at the time. However, her decision seems to have been made and you will have to accept it because now you feel uncomfortable accepting them. Yeah, you don't want to be return her gift and cookies. Yeah, you don't want to deal with that lady. She seems a little unhinged. I don't know why y'all want to be friends with y'all neighbors anyway. I don't want them people up in my house. All right, let's get into these Reddits. I didn't come over here to feel uncomfortable. That just cracks me up because I can just literally see that happening. Lady's so bored. She just probably looking for somebody to argue with. Dang. Is this a sign today? Because it's literally my phone is listening to me. What is a dead giveaway that someone grew up in an abusive household? Well, I just told you a list of things. So, as a result of my childhood, I over explain everything. I assume I won't be believed. I'm very big at showing proof on stuff too, man. I'm always like, look, this happened. Here's pictures, places, and things to prove it. Because, yeah, definitely agree. I apologize for everything that isn't your fault. Take blame for events around you that don't involve you. Do everything you can to minimize emotional outbursts of others. It's not great. Overcompensating. Me and a roommate were having a disagreement in the kitchen. I absentmindedly reached into a cabinet above for a plate to make a sandwich. The roommate flinched as I reached up. Yeah, that's bad. Therapists checking in here. A more subtle one is that they are hyper aware of their surroundings and people's emotions, as that was a tool of safety that tends to not be able to shut off as they become an adult. Yes, they can also be true for people that are in an abusive relationship. I mean, yeah, I'm very aware of my surroundings, and if I feel like a vibe or negative, it's like I won't even come out of my house. Like, I just, if I go somewhere or be around people, it's got to be somewhere or people I really want to be around. Because I cannot. Being good at manipulating people in situations without realizing it, you learn to read someone's emotions well and how to spin a situation to keep yourself safe. They don't ask for help with anything ever. Very hard for me to ask for help. Easily startled, terrified of making their significant other upset, refusing to speak to one or both parents, overthinking about small mistakes. True that, true that. Actually, and I had to go do something at my job last night, and one of the places was like one of the floors are super creepy, and I just like scare myself, like just watching this little crazy stuff and then reading this. It's like I'm praying for healing on everybody that went through that. They freeze when people start yelling, weirded out at a family being nice to one another, upset when you see a happy family dinner and shows or movie. Yeah, when people start yelling or and stuff like that, I don't like. I don't like none of that. I don't like hostility. Can't relax. What if something needs to be done? Oh my gosh, this is me. But once I get in that bed, I ain't getting out. I ain't getting out. Shout out to my husband, because once I sit down, I be having my husband like, babe, can you do this? Babe, can you do that? But I do that for him too, so I don't want to hear nothing. All right, let's get out of that. What trait were you raised thinking was common among everyone but were proving wrong? I thought it was normal for people to suddenly burst into anger out of nowhere. Luckily, I was wrong. Being insecure somehow made me feel like I being insecure somehow my parents made me feel like confidence equals arrogance. Yeah, I hate compliments, and that's definitely something. I didn't realize that most people just aren't that bright. Getting excited when I don't know something or find out I'm wrong because it means I get to learn something new. Being kind, being able to play any musical instrument. Our family was very musical. We owned all sorts of instruments and everybody tried to play everything. So cool. Integrity. I was raised physically conservative, probably to a fault. My grandparents never went on a vacation in their lives. My siblings and all went to public schools and then state universities. After moving to the East Coast, it's pretty shocking to me, not just the amount of money people have, but willing to spend it. Yeah, I'm cheap, but when it comes to like vacations and stuff, it's time to live. That's one thing my mom did for us. She would always take us on some little vacation every year, and that's one thing that I keep doing with my family. Very important to travel with your kids, even broke vacations. My mom would pack us all in her little car. We drove to California. It took 2 days, but we made it. Gossiping. I grew up with a mom that gossiped a lot and viciously. I quickly learned around other women that it is unacceptable and attracts the wrong people. Girl, what women? Because these all women do is gossip. I don't know what you talking about. All right, let's see. What's the weirdest or most unexpected place you've ended up because you were blindly following a GPS tracker? Um, Without GPSs, I end up in crazy places. But I almost drove in a lake once following a GPS. I was going to this lake and it freaking took me all the way down to where I was literally about to drive in a lake. And thank goodness I stopped because it would have been like the episode of The Office. I ended up near the US Canada border airport a couple times trying to go to a specific restaurant. I don't know why airport locations pop up in searches for general restaurants. I was using Google Maps at the time. I was trying to go to Dave and Buster's. The map even said Dave and Buster's Entertainment Center or something like that. However, the address it sent me to was some guy's house whose name was Dave Buster. Back in the early days, my Garmin took me to the middle of a cow pasture when we were trying to get to Grand Canyon. Pretty underwhelming, honestly. Uh, I hate when GPSs do that because then you just be like, just forget it. It's always when you really want something too. Like I was wanting some donuts one day and I was following my GPS. So my GPS took me, I don't even know, that I just ended up going home. I hate that's when it happens. That's when it always happens too. Something you really want. Then you just end up getting lost and it's like, you know what? I'm just going home. That's a sign. Once I was driving home from a friend's house, she had just moved in and I had to drive through some area that had virtually no signals to get there. I got lost coming back home in this area. Maps weren't working, so I resorted to using my outdated car GPS. Kept telling me to turn into a field of corn. I was near tears when a cop pulled me over and said, "Are you okay? I've seen you driving in circles." I told him I'd never been happier to be pulled over. Another thing is Texas, man. Texas got some weird, like that GPS. It'll take you, and I'm black. I ain't trying to be in Texas on no weird. Once I see a dirt road or something, I'm turning back around, getting back on the highway. GPSs be doing some weird stuff sometimes. I ain't got time. All right, let's get into am I the a-hole? Because my voice is getting crackier. Couple more days and y'all ain't gonna get all this reading, okay? All right, let's see. Am I the a-hole from wanting a divorce with my wife after she neglected me for months and only wants to sleep with me after I got a better job? I met my wife 20 years ago. We've been married for 15. We started dating during our last semester in high school. After college, we both immediately started work. I worked as a software engineer at a bank while she worked as a junior financial office, blah, blah, blah. A year after leaving college, she got pregnant and both came to the conclusion that we'd be better off as a family. So she quit her job and blah blah blah. Well, things happened, and the moment we had 3 kids, our marriage was going great until last December, while everyone's marriages around us started getting stale and started crumbling. I felt like ours grew stronger. Well, last year my company had some major financial issues, and as a result, that my position got dissolved. I had to put blood, sweat, and tears to get myself into position, and it just got ripped away from me for no fault of my own. I got another job in a different department, but my pay decreased nearly 40%. As a result, I couldn't afford a lot of the luxuries we currently had. When I told my wife this, she seemed more distraught than me. I reassured her that I'll immediately start working on finding another job with equal pay or better pay than my last. For the time being, I told her we need to cut out our expenses. Since then, she basically has been treating me like I don't exist. She used to make me lunch and take to work, but when she suddenly stopped doing that, I asked her why, and she just told me she didn't feel like it. I didn't question her on it. I just honestly, he thugged it out. Then they had their kids, yada yada yada. Um, Even the kids started looking at him crazy because they couldn't do everything they used to do. So then he reached his breaking point last week. It was his birthday and nobody cared. I didn't bring it up in the hopes that they would realize at some point. And they was like, screw this dude. I remember just breaking down into tears. Dang, bro. I just lost her. I asked her, do I even matter? All right, get to the part where you got your job. So now he went to stay at a hotel because he was sick of y'all. Um, he got mad. He yelled at his wife. He feels bad. Then his wife would send him apologies. And then he got calls and all that. And then he said, do I truly mean this little to my family? I actually have an interview with another company planned for next week. I didn't want to give my wife any false hopes, so I didn't tell her anything. If I get the job, I want it to be a surprise. And I feel like even attending the interview anymore for whom I'm going to, why am I doing it for? Anyway, you're not the a-hole, man. Stuff can happen at any job or company. You know, if your marriage is based off of that and your spouse treats you that your worth is your paycheck, especially after y'all been together for 20 years, I question what was y'all marriage built on? How was you raising them kids? And them kids know like money don't grow on trees. Anything can happen with a job. Like you said, you did everything and they still let you go. So it's sad that your wife did you dirty and your kids. I'd be thinking some therapy. I think it's good that you did go to a motel like her, think about her decisions. And if you do get a new job, I would still keep them on a budget because clearly they don't appreciate you. Somebody said you're still going to need money after divorce. Go to the interview, get the job, and leave the wife behind. I know that's right. And you're going to have to pay child support. Sounds like you should have divorced her yesterday already. Go and live your best life. Be happy. You're more than just a paycheck. It's sad because people like that, that's how people end up committing suicide. Because these people feel so much pressure to provide for their families and stuff because they know their family's probably going to treat them like this and they just off themselves. So this is sad that your family's treating you like that. I'm going to do one more. Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend's ex-wife I won't babysit her child? I was pretty sure I wasn't the a-hole, but now I'm feeling a bit confused. My boyfriend's 28 and I'm 27. Been together for a while now. He has a daughter and I absolutely love her. She's my best little buddy. This is not who the post is about. My boyfriend's ex-wife, 27, got pregnant with another man's kid, and they're married or whatever. I have nothing against the baby. I've never met her. I know her situation. It's not her fault. Fast forward a couple of weeks ago, my boyfriend's ex-wife does not speak to me ever. She has never said hello and has never tried to meet me until now. She reached out to me and asked if we could watch her daughter for a week. This week, we would also have the daughter that my boyfriend and her share. A little surprised by the request, I asked her why, as she has never asked us to do this before. She said that it is her and her boyfriend, who's a teenager she had an affair with, want to go on a vacation to celebrate their anniversary. I was a little shocked at the request. I asked her if she had spoken to my boyfriend about it and asked why she bypassed him and went straight to asking me. She said she already asked him and he immediately said no. I told her, well, there's your answer. She was furious. She said, I have no reason to have anything against her and my boyfriend should be over it by now. She also called us a-holes and said that there's no reason we should take our frustrations out on a child, which I didn't think we did. I'm always willing to take care of my boyfriend's daughter. I'm not sure why my boyfriend and I should be expected to take care of anyone else's child. The second child is not my boyfriend's. My boyfriend also has never met this child. To me and him, it seemed like too big of a request. My boyfriend's parents say we should just do it for the sake of my boyfriend's daughter so they can spend time together. They say we're going too harsh and all that. No, you're not the a-hole. For one, she's the a-hole. She don't even know you. She's never met you and she wants you to watch her baby. She's psycho. I wouldn't even do it, because if any of the slightest thing happened, baby gets sick or anything, she gonna automatically think something happened awry. No, make his parents do it. And then he already said no, so who is she to go behind his back to try to ask you? She's already manipulative. Not the a-hole. She just wants to be she wants a free babysitter. A whole week of watching somebody else's baby. Not the a-hole. Block his ex. Allow all communication to go through your partner. Block her on social media too. It's crazy of her to think you guys will watch her kid that is not biologically related to him. All agreed on all accounts. And on all accounts, I'll be back tomorrow. I hope y'all don't feel sad for me. I'm just having reflections of watching this TV show. Life happens to the best of us, y'all, but that's life. Everything is learning, and it's made me who I am today. I don't have no regrets in my life. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens for a reason. And now that I'm old enough to reflect on those things and how they've made me stronger and a better person in a way, I look back like, this is why you act like that. Good, the bad, and the ugly. And I hope y'all have people in your life to accept that from y'all as well. If you don't, kick them to the curb. Y'all have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow.